Happy Sunday, Tampa Bay. We're here with you for another weekend to talk about the local real estate market here on the Duncan Duo Real Estate Show. Going to start off the show today with a special guest. We've got Jack Harris from 970 AM Tampa Bay on talking with us today. And Jack, you've obviously been speaking for a while about your experience. And I think the nice part about having, we've got some other endorsements, but sometimes it's kind of interesting when you have somebody that's actually gone through an experience. So you've actually been a client of ours and had a great experience.
Yeah, I began advertising for you before I had ever become a customer. And then obviously when I got ready to sell my house, after all the great things I'd said about you guys,
you're like, I gotta make sure this is true, right?
I'm gonna check this out for myself. And it was an incredible experience, far, far better than what I had said, what I'd been advertising, because I think at the time I had advertised the average time, how far ahead of the rest of the market you guys were in selling your home. And then secondly, about getting more than asking prices.
Right.
And I thought, well, you got to be dreaming here. And first of all, we'll go with the time it took. We were out of town that weekend. We just put it up for sale, and 4 days later it was sold.
I know. I remember your wife. I think she wasn't. You'd obviously been talking about us for a while, and I don't know that she was quite as prepared, because I remember we had some challenges there, because she was like, "Whoa, this happened a little faster than I thought."
Oh yeah, she was talking about how long she would wait and then put a sign out front. She didn't want to put a sign out front, and it's hard to sell your house when you won't put a sign out front. But she said, if we haven't sold it in 3 or 4 months, then she would put it out front. She was sort of thinking of maybe summertime, which would be 3 months down the road or 4 months, whatever it was, and all these other things, or Christmas time, I guess. That was at Christmas time. And she said, after Christmas you can put the sign in the road. Well, 4 days later it's sold.
And we had we had a bidding war. We had multiple people bidding for the house, and that's something that's a strategy. Not a lot of times a real estate agent will take that first offer, they'll come to the client and say, hey, look, we got an offer, you got to take it. And I think one of our marketing approaches is being patient when we do put it on the market, to let the market tell us if we can get more money for it. And that's exactly what happened in your scenario. We had a bidding war. We were able to pit people against each other. And the sooner it happens, the better the seller is going to get in terms of price. The longer it's on the market, the lower a price can sometimes go, because the consumer might think, oh, why has this house been on the market so long?
Oh,
so
yeah.
We like to use that to our advantage. I think we specifically did that. And in terms of talking about the numbers, I think in addition to getting the bidding war, I think that when we sat down to talk about the prices we could get, we were higher than what you were initially expecting.
Yeah, you were way above what we had looked at. I mean, we had talked about setting it initially higher than what we thought we could get, and then later on come down in price. So we set it higher than we thought we could get, thinking, well, nobody's going to pay that much, and lo and behold, the bidding began.
And let's talk about the process. So from the process from the point in which we went under contract to the time we closed, relatively smooth process?
Oh yeah, I mean, my wife handled all the details, obviously, but it was as smooth as it could be. I mean, she was tickled to death with everything.
And it's interesting because, like I said before, a lot of times you hear people that have endorsements or advertisers, and obviously, we've been advertising with you for a while, but I think it's unique in that, you have a direct personal experience with selling your own home, not hearing it from other people, but selling your own home, in South Tampa with us, and the process, was pretty seamless.
And it's good. It was good for me in doing that, in selling the Duo too, because we like to use the products that we endorse.
Right.
And if you haven't sold a house, though, it's tough to do it. You can't go out and say, well, I'm going to sell my house just so I can use this product. But it turned out we did want to sell a house, so it worked out beautifully. The thing is, I think the key, though, is in telling people how you can do it, because people hear something and they say, that sounds too good to be true. How can you possibly do that? Why can you do that and everybody else can't?
Right.
And once you go through the process, you came up with a video that was awesome. Your website, but I think the key, and we point this out in the commercials, the key is that you spend so much more in promotion, and that brings in customers 10 times, 20 times as much as the average real estate agent does.
And I think the idea of the marketing, I have a marketing background, so my focus is really on doing those unique things that other people aren't doing to get exposure, not just for our business, but for our listings. And the video, like you talked about, it's really cool because You know, I really enjoy doing stuff like that. A lot of real estate agents don't have the budget to be able to produce a 4 or 5 minute film about a home with actors and music licensing.
Yeah, again, it is
you know,
very professionally done video too.
and I think that sets us apart because it makes the property memorable. People will see that video and they'll say, oh, well, yeah, that, it almost makes the house become kind of like the star, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, it shows not just photos, but literally like viral video of the floor plan, so people can get an idea. Sometimes photos can be deceiving. You can look at a photo and say, oh, but now I don't know how the floor plan works, and the video really kind of separates that, but it also brings in the local area. If you recall with your video, you know, we brought in, you know, Beach Park and Plant High School and, you know, some of the things going around that property. And that's especially important today, and you guys, you know, obviously you guys talk a lot about real estate on AM Tampa Bay. You guys got to keep a pulse on the market. And, you know, the international market is a piece of ours that we've really penetrated from doing those videos, because people can learn about that local area in that 5 or 6 minute
anywhere in
film
the world.
from anywhere in the world. And,
Yeah.
you know, those videos have helped us sell properties on Clearwater Beach, Reddington Shores, South Tampa, you know, Davis Islands, you know, for great prices and quicker sales than the owner expected, because penetrating those other markets. So we obviously, you know, recently helped you purchase, you know, a property as well. I think we got almost about $50,000 off of asking. So we got you the best price. It was close to
yeah.
50. I don't remember. It was maybe 40 or 50,000 off of the asking price. You know, so we got you a really great price selling, and then obviously we were able to negotiate
Yes.
a pretty good deal for you buying too.
Same thing going in the other direction
Right.
here. And I mean, first of all, the price at this particular property, it surprised me, it was that low, and then it was still more than we wanted to pay, and the buyer ended up coming down. And then you got involved in it, and he came down way more than we
Yeah.
expected, and got it down to where we can spend a little money and
Make it nice, and, and then invite me to your housewarming party so I can enjoy your life. But you know, it was interesting because I think a lot of times people will hear us talk about our ability to sell someone's home, and obviously that's a pillar of our business to talk about how we're able to help people sell their homes, how we do the guaranteed sale, how we do the videos, and your personal experience about that. But we're also helping people buy homes, and I think our goal when we're helping someone buy is the exact opposite. You know, when they're helping sell,
Yeah.
our goal is to get our client, you know, the person that we're working with, the person that we have loyalty to, the best price and terms that kind of fit what they want to do. So it's just kind of the opposite of the advocacy we do for sellers and getting the highest price with buyers. We're looking to get the best deal we can for them.
And it works.
So, and I think that on the same token, the buying process, relatively smooth. You know, we happened
yeah.
pretty fast. You know, we kept you in the loop, we communicated, and I think that's, you know, again, something that real estate agents, you know, historically have gotten a bad rap for. Not all of them, because there's a lot of great real estate agents out there. I mean, there's so many of my peers I respect, but there's certainly people, and I think as the market changes and improves, you get a lot more new people into the business and industry that haven't been in it for a while, and that service level, you start to hear some of those complaints again from people about, oh, my realtor doesn't do this or doesn't do that. And a lot of times it's just training and education. It's them keeping up to date on what's going on in the market.
Yeah, it was smooth, again, both of them. And again, I mean, just went in and signed a few things. Signings are a pain in the butt, but
Yeah.
other than that,
You gotta
sign
remember, you know,
here.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting, and I think that the process for us with the closing that's different than a lot of other companies is we actually hire staff, similar to a law office or a doctor's office. You know, there are things I'm really good at, and then there are things I'm terrible at. And the real minute details sometimes when it comes to that closing process are things that naturally salespeople aren't great at. So we've hired really detail-oriented staff people so that we can have clients just like you talk about their experience and say it was a great one because we stayed on top of all those details. When a lot of, you know, sales industries don't have that staff support,
Yeah.
they make mistakes because they're salespeople. They're not great at details. So that's something for us that's really important, and it helps those processes go really smoothly where we have raving fans and happy clients. And it wasn't just because the salesperson was great, it's because the staff was too.
Yep, well, they did a great job from top to bottom. I mean, it was a great experience, and that closing was much more, happened much more quickly than I thought, really, because I remember a closing one time years ago. It might have been on this house, or the house we sold, just going through a stack like about 5 inches
Yeah.
deep. And I thought, holy guacamole, what did we need to sign all of these for? But
Yeah.
we had far fewer this time. But it was,
Yeah, and I think that's our focus is on really making sure that process is smooth and eliminating stuff that isn't needed. And again, every closing and lender and title company are a little bit different, but But again, we want to streamline those processes and making it quick, as easy as possible. So, well, Jack, appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate you taking the time to do this quick interview, and thanks for being a valued partner and client.
Well, yeah, thanks for helping selling and then buying.
Awesome.